BattlefieldOne Podcast is brought to you by you. Yes, you, the listener. Thank you so much for listening to us, and thank you all the patrons that support our Battlefield adventure. Wait for the middle of the show to know more about Patreon, or go to patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. Enjoy the show.
But then when you've got Angel screaming, Angel does it again. And
That was something, right?
That was something.
I'm sorry, you canceled the support for the game a month ago.
Why would they even host a trade?
I don't know.
And I sit down and he picks up one donut and eats it. So you want to like QA games?
When the rubber meets the road, they're gonna be like, oh my god, I don't like seeing Mario get his skull smashed.
Oh, I would love
It
to see
doesn't
that.
work.
I would love to
Yeah,
see
like I said, like I said.
Ladies and gentlemen, howdy, guten tag, hola, ciao, konnichiwa, hello, welcome to BattlefieldOne Podcast, the best Battlefield-related podcast on the planet, and oh boy, we have an episode for you all, and I'm just gonna say this, we told you so. We told you so. Anyway, my name is Tom, also known as the Lanky Soldier. I'm the host of this godforsaken podcast, and I'm joined by my fellow co-host, Ray. Wait, you're not Ray.
No, I'm not.
Who are you?
I'm Andrew. I'm an old friend, I guess. But I've been on the podcast before. It's just ages ago.
You were on the Live Gaming Gathering podcast, not BattlefieldOne Podcast.
Oh yes.
Yes.
But we did do a podcast about World War III. Is that Live Game Gathering?
It was, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It was
It's been a
something else.
while.
There was something else that you joined for, but I don't remember what was it. It was something. I remember.
Let's just say it's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah. So basically, here's the story. So originally, me and Ray were planning to do this podcast for a week now. Everything was set, everything was done. You know, we were just waiting for the playtest to happen because we heard rumblings about the playtests happening on Friday. So we had like everything planned and everything. But Ray had to like last minute tell me like, oh, can we postpone the recording for another day? And I'm like, I understand life happens and everything, but he knows that we have to lock the fuck in. This is the time of year where we actually have to produce the show and everything. So I'm like, okay, let's come up with some different ideas. So I came up with the idea that we can record a bit later with him, where it's going to be a Patreon episode, and we're going to gather all his thoughts about the Battlefield Labs, all that kind of stuff on the Patreon. And for this episode, I was like, I'm going to record by myself and just say, hey, if you want to hear the full thoughts and filter thoughts about us talking about Battlefield Labs, all the playtest, all the leaks and everything, just go to Patreon, patreon.com/TheLankySoldier, and that's it. But I'm just thinking, okay, maybe I can bring someone. I messaged someone, they haven't replied. Cool. Then I decide, you know what, Andre, you want to be on the podcast? It's been a while, because I need someone that actually is not following Battlefield news that much. You're the different perspective from the audience. Because when people that listen to our podcast, they're like, I think I told you in the WhatsApp messages that it's like the hardcore Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4 type of audience. You know, they play.
Wait.
What?
You're telling me I wasn't your first choice?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
I'm just
sorry.
joking. I'm just joking.
Yeah, but the plan was me and Ray to record and talk about the playtest, the leaks and everything and so on. So
Yeah.
but that fell through last minute, so we had to change some plans. And I'm like, you know what? Andre hasn't been on the podcast for God knows how long. He doesn't follow Battlefield news that much. I mean, he follows enough to ask me about it, but he doesn't.
True.
He doesn't follow like me 24/7 about everything that is happening. And
Let's just sum it up that I'm a casual pleb now.
yeah, you are. But that's a
Yes,
good
I'm
thing
alright.
because listen,
I'm your average consumer now. I'm no longer the hardcore FPS guy that shoots for high ranks in competitive gaming. I'm just
yeah.
random casual now. I'm
but-
the target audience.
But here's the thing, like I think I mentioned a couple of episodes ago that Battlefield audience itself is I don't want to say a dying breed, but we do need a new type of we need to bring the younger audience, right? And when we bring a younger audience, I'm not expecting them to know everything about Battlefield. That's not happening. There's no way. So you can be that middleman to encourage younger audience. And I was a younger audience. I'm not talking about like kids. I'm talking like under 25. You know.
But to be honest, I guess what you could also say is that there are a lot of disappointed veterans of the franchise that want to see it thrive again.
Oh yeah, that's the least. That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna talk about the leaks, all that kind of stuff. But before we do any of that, I just have to tell you all, because I know someone's gonna be listening to all this, and I can already see the bubbles forming in their mouths just reading the title of this episode. So, as you can tell by the title, this will be a very detailed, passionate, probably long episode about the leaks and everything that happened with the, it's basically a disclaimer. I have to put some disclaimers for certain people that will be listening, and I can already, like I already said, I can hear the bubbles already forming around people's mouths when they're gonna read the title of this episode. Oh no, they're talking about the leaks and everything. So, and also, I don't think they're gonna listen beyond 5-10 minutes. So let me put a disclaimer here. So let's establish some facts here. We're an independent production that has no association with Electronic Arts or Battlefield Studios. Nothing. We're independent. We're independent creators
Really?
Yeah.
Why did I just receive a 1,000 euro, PayPal commission?
Sorry. That's a
What was
commission.
that?
That's a commission from me. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
patrons
I thought it said Electronic Arts there.
Yeah. Patrons. No, it was me. Patrons doing really well.
Yeah. Thank you. There's a reason why I got this microphone.
Oh my. You know what? Should I even no, I'll leave that story for the patron. I'll leave that story for the patron. So if you want to hear if you want to hear the story about the microphone, that happened just an hour ago, please do subscribe to Patreon. Me and Ray will talk about it. Maybe even Andrew will join if he's not sleeping. But anyway, we're independent creators that happen to be part of Electronic Arts Creator Network. I know you're not, but me and Ray are. Previously known as Game Changers. So because me and Ray took part in some alphas and playtests, that required us to sign NDAs. And we always did our best to represent the Battlefield community in those playtests. So I want to believe that we had good relationship with Electronic Arts community managers and developers that listen to this podcast. And we always respected our NDAs. Not once we ever decided to be douchebags about it, in person or online, hence why developers and content creators actually willing to come on this podcast and talk to us about anything Battlefield related, because we're decent people. We're decent, we're being normal. But that being said, we did not take part in this Battlefield Labs playtest that happened yesterday. So if you're listening to us on Patreon, it happened yesterday. If you're listening to this on Spotify and anywhere else, it happened a couple of days ago. And also, I'm sorry if you hear sirens in the background, living in London, joy. So we did not take part in the playtest because the selection process for that playtest that happened yesterday was really random, indeed random. Like, all the people I know did not get access to it. So I could probably email the community manager and ask for access personally, but I decided it's not worth it for various reasons. And because more playtests will be happening in the future, there's no rush for us to do anything. And we can just wait and we will. There's no point for us to get out of the way just to play the playtest, So the selection process was random. We did not get an email, to participate in the playtest. So that means we did not sign any NDAs. That being said, we've been telling you for months as minimum, this will be leaked. As soon as you put it to the public, even NDAs or not, it's going to be leaked. And behold, all the leaks, footage and everything that came out on the internet, a lot of information and everything that we need to analyze, all the information about the new Battlefield game, all that kind of stuff. Obviously it's going to leak. And if people want to leak it and get their accounts banned, fair play. It has nothing to do with us. We will discuss everything that has leaked on the internet about this game, because it has nothing to do with us. We didn't sign NDAs. If they want to leak it, that's up to them, not my problem. And of course we're going to discuss those leaks, because every big news organization, any gaming news organization, is discussing this leaked footage under fair use. And because we're a legit Battlefield franchise related production, we will be doing our audience a disservice if we don't cover every little bit that happened yesterday with the playtest. And you know what? Like I said, it's fair play to the leakers. They want to leak it. It's up to them, not for us. And of course, we're gonna cover it. Of course, we're not gonna show you any leaks or any gameplay footage or anything on the screen if you're watching this on the video format. You know, we will discuss it, but we're not gonna show you for obvious reasons because we don't want to be DMCA'd by EA. So, furthermore, the point of Battlefield Labs is to provide, feedback to developers so they can improve the game and make necessary changes to make sure the release is smooth and good, and that's what we're gonna do. So any developer or community manager working on this game and listening to this podcast, which I know you are, I can see you, we got you. You can trust us. Also because the point of Battlefield Labs is, like I said, it's just to test everything, give feedback to developers, all that kind of stuff. And everything we discuss today, I don't know what kind of stuff we discuss because the list is long, but everything we're going to discuss today, assume that everything is subject to change. So everything we're going to discuss today doesn't mean it's going to be available when the game launches either later this year or next year, right? Whenever the game is coming out, doesn't mean that everything's going to be in this game that in this playtest we're going to be discussing is going to be at the launch. So everything's subject to change. There's a lot of placeholders, a lot of things will change. Maybe people don't like something and developers will have to change it. That's the point. The Battlefield Labs, that's the point. And so yeah, that's kind of the disclaimers I want to tell and say. And yeah, I got nothing regarding that. I think, oh my god, that was a mouthful actually. I was thinking it's gonna take me like a minute or two to explain everything, but that took long. That took way too fucking long. But anyway, I just have to put that out there because some people gonna lose their shit, and I just wanted to put a disclaimer. Not our fault that people are leaking stuff, and because we're a Battlefield-related production, of course we're gonna talk about it because it will be a disservice to our audience if we don't. It's just that's it. That's all it is.
If you want my opinion,
Yeah, go on.
I think the developers also knew that this is going to happen.
You're not the first one to say that, yeah. But I've seen some like they did it on purpose just to generate a bit of hype because they're actually confident about the game.
I still think it is the right decision, the right call to do some testing like this because they have learned from their mistakes with Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 2042. I mean, we both know how they launched.
Yeah, to say the least.
Yeah, there's nothing more to add.
Yeah, so before we're gonna talk about all this. Just again, really long intro. It's just a bit of housekeeping. So if you listen this, anywhere. We have time codes, so on Spotify you can just click on the topic you want. So if you don't have a whole hour to listen about, us babbling about this, just click on the topic you want to listen, and just listen. Time codes are there for a reason. Of course, leave a rating on Spotify, iTunes, and all that kind of stuff. Leave a like on YouTube. Follow our socials, of course. They are linked to the description of this podcast. Google Forms document. If you want to give us feedback about anything, tell us what kind of sexy people we are, what kind of amazing ideas we have, or whatever the case may be. There's a Google Forms document in the description, so you don't need an account, you don't need anything. Just click on the link and just start writing the feedback to us. It's that easy. You want to send us questions, feedback, negative, positive, I don't care, what is it? Just, if you want to talk to us, use that Google Forms document because it's the easiest way to contact us about anything.
And don't forget to subscribe to Patreon.
Of course, yeah, and the last bit is literally Patreon. Where I'm gonna mention what the hell happened with Andrew's microphone. Ray is gonna come on and we're gonna talk about Battlefield Labs because, like I said, this was planned weeks ahead. Well, not weeks ahead, a week ahead. We knew the playtest is gonna be happening. We did not get invited, but we knew people gonna be leaking shit, but he had to disappear.
I didn't know it. And no one told me.
Well,
I'm disappointed.
Well, now you do, and I showed you everything I have.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
did I watch everything? No. Am I still excited? Yes.
But before anyone loses the shit, again, like I said, I did not play the playtest. All the footage and everything I gathered was literally from the internet that people started leaking, and this is just me to show to Andre so he knows what the fuck we're talking about. So that's all it is. So yeah, subscribe to Patreon, patreon.com/TheLankySoldier, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Okay. So housekeeping done. Disclaimer is done. All right. So let's talk about the stuff. So before we talk about the leaks, I'm guessing you haven't read the blog post that EA released about the playtest.
You mean the ones where they are saying that everything is subject to change and they want the feedback?
That too, but there was also an a blog post released on, I think on Twitter. I don't know. Well, anyway, so before
I did not.
Yeah, so before the playtest came online for the people that sign NDAs to play, they released an official blog post or post article, whatever you want to call it, and they basically explained what's the purpose of this particular playtest that happened yesterday. And the playtest purpose of yesterday's playtest is gunplay and movement, and it's basically a long word salad explaining to us what they're trying to achieve with this game when it comes to movement and gunplay. And I'm not gonna read the whole article because I'm pretty sure you guys, if you listen to this, you can go on Battlefield to Twitter and just read it yourself, and I'm not gonna read all of it because I presume you can read all yourselves. There's no point for me to just read everything for you. So I'm just gonna read the important stuff the most important stuff from the article that makes stuff sound interesting. So I quote: "We're designing the combat experience to ensure players of all skill levels can enjoy our gunplay and movement systems. Our goal is to offer gameplay that rewards skill with precise weapon feedback and movement options for veterans while providing an intuitive experience for new players to learn and enjoy. For gunplay, we're exploring designs centered on helping you learn and develop skills and muscle memory through action as weapons naturally signal their recoil direction. This feedback loop allows you to understand and adjust your aim, making it easier to handle different weapons. The system is not only adds variety, but also enhances weapons' unique feel and playstyle." They continue: "We're optimizing for 60 Hz tick rate servers, ensuring that the game server more frequently updates the positions and actions of all players. This results in responsive gameplay across all platforms and inputs. You'll notice more precise shooting and movement, enhanced damage feedback, and more accurate representation of other players' positions and combat outcomes. We adjusted the recoil system to make different weapon types feel unique when firing them through enhancements to gunplay recoil, camera shake, and firing settles. Each shot's recoil direction now matches its gameplay angle. The weapon visually stabilizes more accurately your handling." What? "The weapon visually stabilizes that more accurate your handling is, making you..." That's a mouthful sentence. "Making you feel like it's actually firing and controlling it. To evolve the moment system, we..." They did a boo-boo here. They made a grammar mistake. I'm pretty sure they were supposed to put movement. They put moment. Anyway, I'm continuing. Just like two paragraphs left. "To involve the movement system, we revamped animations and reintroduced movement features such as crouch sprinting, combat dive, and landing roll, and added visual indicators to make it easier to understand when movement such as vaulting or leaning are possible. During our first play session, our teams will be validating the system's stability of Battlefield labs, such as server performance, while participants will be able to familiarize themselves with what's next for the Battlefield through testing the gunplay of movement experience, focused on feel of the different weapon archetypes, improvements to aim and control, weapon balance and fun factor, look and feel of movement, moving and interacting within the map, combat pacing." So that was the article that they posted and basically explaining what was the purpose of this playtest that is happening.
Okay.
So, quick thoughts. What do you think about all this with this word salad that they posted? Just quick impressions. What do you think?
Quick impressions.
Yeah, of this article.
It's good that they are making changes. I can give you one example. One thing that annoyed me the most, especially in 2042, is tactical sprint. It shouldn't be in the game.
Well,
And
funny you say that.
Also, I mean, I haven't played a lot of 2042, and I guess I have to go back to Battlefield 4 and 3 because those were the games that I played the most. Also, Hardline, I miss you. And I also heard that it feels like Modern Warfare 2019. Is that true?
So the way, from judging from the footage I've seen and everything people post about, the way I can describe it is Battlefield 3 aesthetics, Battlefield 4 design, Modern Warfare 2019 gameplay. And I mean, when I say gameplay, I don't mean like mechanically, as in like, for example, Call of Duty doesn't have classes, right? For example, right?
Yes.
But the feel, how the game feels. Grant, I haven't played the game. I have no idea. But the way the game feels, you know, how the characters are designed, how the maps are designed, how the gun view model of the gun it looks on your screen, and how the shooting feels like from just footage alone, I can tell that if you repurpose this footage, you know, change the HUD elements, you know, something else, you could pass it on as a Modern Warfare 2019 sequel if you really wanted to. You could. So that's the impression I'm getting. So this is clearly inspired by Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 aesthetics. For example, the respawn screen, how the HUD looks, and all that kind of stuff, right? It's like a mix of both, of Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, but the gameplay is like Modern Warfare 2019, which is not a bad thing, because Modern Warfare 2018 was a good Call of Duty game. I mean, I think that's what brought Call of Duty back from the dead, honestly.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so from the footage I've seen, I think it does give me that feeling, which is good. Because the way the characters, for example, like, the way I can think of, I don't know how to describe it to you.
I think it's really hard to describe what someone else.
For example,
feels.
could you tell the difference between Battlefield 4 and Bad Company, right? Gameplay wise.
Yeah.
Right.
I can.
So, for example, in Bad Company, right, the characters are, you know, they're quite bulky. You know, your soldiers and everything, they're bulky, and they
Yes.
move in a specific way. And then you have Battlefield 4, for example. There's a bit more characters, a bit more slimmer. You know, they're a bit faster, even though it's not as fast as like, let's say, Hardline, for example. Hardline is like even though they cannot sim the games, but anyway. So that kind of feeling, right? It's like so that's why I'm getting the feeling from this footage that I've seen for the new Battlefield game. It's like you can tell the characters are a bit, bigger, so on. They're a bit slower. Granted, it could be FOV, like the players that recorded and leaked all this footage. It gives me the idea like it's like maybe FOV is slow, and when you increase the FOV, the game is gonna feel faster and so on. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But the way the characters move around the map and how the maps are designed and kind of the map itself is kind of claustrophobic in a sense. So it's just like it feels like you're part of the world, right? It's like it feels bulky, it feels slower, but I just don't, because I haven't played the game. I haven't played the game. I wonder how smooth and inputs are, is it like crispy, like Modern Warfare 2019? Because Modern Warfare 2019 maybe was not the fastest Call of Duty out there, even though now it's a bit different story, but it was crisp, right? Every movement had like some sort of like transition and meaning and everything. It was really smooth, right? It's like there was no, what's the word I'm looking for? Friction.
I think there's a sweet spot for how you pace your game to make it feel comfortable for everyone,
Yeah, and for example, 60 hertz servers, they say that 60 hertz servers are coming back, and the whole playtest was on with that. Perfect. Like, I don't know if Battlefield 2042 had 60 hertz servers, probably not, because of 128 players. But good. I'm glad that just simple stuff like that, just from the foundation is there. The foundation is there. Like, we're gonna, So at least nice to know that the game is not gonna be absolutely horrible. Good to know.
Yeah,
What-
remember the Battlefield 4 days when you were just dying behind a corner.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Those
it
were
was
the
it was horrible until they introduced the 60 hertz servers. And you know what's funny? We have the same problem now in Call of Duty with Black Ops 6.
Yeah.
Because that netcode, the Black Ops 6 netcode, was clearly designed from 2010s. I'm sorry, this is not the newest netcode systems they have. Whatever they have, I don't know. I just know
Okay,
that
listen.
it's garbage.
This is going to be related to the microphone.
Sure, go on.
When I got the fried chicken, I talked to the guy because I played Modern Warfare 3 with him, and we briefly talked about Black Ops 6. And he was discussing how fast it became, also compared to Modern Warfare.
Wait, you had that conversation with your chicken guy?
I played Call of Duty with that guy.
Oh, okay, so you know. Okay, you know. Okay.
I kind of know him, yes.
All right.
So we were discussing that, and I asked him, "Are you playing Black Ops 6?" And he said, "No, he doesn't. Not anymore, at least, because of all the issues that he had with the game." And he especially mentioned dying behind corners, and that the game pacing is way too quick, especially compared to the previous installments. And there's also, again, what I said before, there is a sweet spot for pacing in your game, If you make your game too quick, it also, or the time to kill too fast, it will add more issues, Especially when you don't have the tick rate.
Multiplayer is fine, but when you have the shit netcode, and you, for example, put in a Warzone, now that's where the problems start. That it's so apparent that this game, Warzone was not designed for this game. Warzone was basically tacked on, it just shoved into Black Ops 6, not Black Ops 6 shoved into Warzone, right? If Black Ops 6 was shoved into Warzone, I think it would be a bit different, because you would use the Warzone foundation to make the multiplayer section of the game. But this is other way around. So the game that was designed for multiplayer, you try to expand this, right, into a bigger mode like Warzone. Suddenly the netcode doesn't make any sense. And there was when the game came out, when Warzone integration happened, that I was shooting players, they were not dying because the hit rate was it's so bad. So when it comes to Battlefield, and they introducing 60 hertz servers back to this new game, which should be the standard for every first-person shooter, if you ask me. So when they're introducing that means there's already a good foundation that I'm not gonna die behind corners. Sure, it will always happen because internet, it's unavoidable. So
Yes.
pings and everything, different pings, all that kind of location. I get that. It's just the internet stuff is complicated. Connection is complicated business. But this will mitigate majority of the problems that you might have, with first-person shooters. First-person shooters dying behind corners, all that kind of stuff. So just because we have that, it's perfect. So just because of that, the game will feel a bit smoother, a bit better, and actually a bit faster, because certain mechanics are literally tied to the server tick rate. I don't know if you remember when we tried 128 hertz servers on Battlefield 4. Have you ever tried that?
On the CT.
Uh-huh.
120
hertz servers. Oh my god. The game felt so fucking smooth before the servers started to be on fire. But that's different. Before the servers took a shit, my god, it felt so smooth. Your game feels so much faster. It's a completely different world. Completely.
Night and day difference.
Night and day. If I could have that every day I play Call of Duty or Battlefield, oh my god, it's better than real life. It's just such a game-changing thing. Now, will I ever have that on 5-on-5 modes? Maybe one day. But again, for 60 whole players, 60 hertz servers, perfect. They also, in this blog post, they talk about sliding, jumping. What else they said? Diving or some shit. I don't know. Whatever.
Can I interrupt you real quick?
Yeah, go on.
I feel like that DICE already nailed movement in their previous games. They know how to do it. They also know how to make beautiful animations and transitions. I give you one example where they could maybe take some animations from, and that is Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Have you ever played Mirror's Edge Catalyst?
Yeah, I did.
It's
I know
all
you love
about
the game,
running.
but yeah.
I love it. I have over 200 hours on it. But the movement, the way the character traverses with the environment is really good. And they have done it in Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, Hardline, and so on as well. So I don't think they have to copy something else. They can just, tweak it a little bit, I guess.
Surprise! This was not time-stamped. We hope you're enjoying the show so far, but we need to stop for a second and tell you about some important stuff. And now that we have your attention, it's time to tell you all about our amazing Patreon that is helping us keep the show going. Patreon.com/TheLankySoldier.
Some Patreon exclusiveness. We here at Patreon would love for
You sound like every nerd in all the 90s TV shows.
Battlefield 1 podcast was rebooted in March of 2023. We learned a lot of lessons from our previous shows that consisted of 41 episodes, and we've been building amazing foundations for the future with this current show. There's a reason why we're the best Battlefield-related podcast available on Spotify and anywhere else. We've also had the honor of being listened to by DICE, Ripple Effect, and other developers as well. Now, we want to share even more with you through our Patreon.
And I've never seen her. So I will be crying and yelling, and I will not be the same person I am right now.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ready for that kind of I know we're emotionally close and everything, but I don't think we're that emotionally close.
Yeah, that will be an experience of its own.
We want to thank everyone that has joined as a free member or subscribed to our Patreon in the last year. The support is greatly appreciated, always was, and always will be. It's amazing, and it only motivates us to continue with our Battlefield journey. By simply becoming a free member or even subscribing to any paid tier, you're not only supporting the show, but you're also getting a lot of content back in return.
Right, because Call of Duty gets so annoying sometimes, I actually got so desperate I installed League of Legends again.
Oh my god. The perks of any tier is you'll get ad-free early access to all of our future episodes. You can already listen to the previous episodes ads-free as well, simply by being a free member. There's no more waiting, no more interruptions, just pure unfiltered Battlefield content straight to your ear holes, from our mouth holes, and anywhere else. It's amazing, isn't it?
The only reason why CTE did as well as it did back in the day, guys, is because it wasn't locked down to secrecy. Those that couldn't participate were still able to see what was going on. That's the point that I'm getting at right now.
We're also giving you a behind-the-scenes look at what goes into making the Battlefield 1 podcast or any other content we produce, from planning sessions to recording mistakes and everything in between. You'll get an insider's perspective on how we bring each episode to life pretty much from start to finish.
And the reason why I'm saying
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's your fault.
It's all my fault.
It's all your fault, Ray. How did you ruin the whole show? We need to cancel it again.
Just gotta can it for another 8 months again. Just appear out of nowhere with
we need to cancel it again.
Colors.
Ray, what the fuck did you do?
And that's only Battlefield. We're also offering access to our exclusive Patreon podcast series, The Live Gaming Gathering. This is a show where friends and special guests get together and talk about everything from the video game industry to movies and, whatever else is on our minds at that particular time. With more than 40 episodes already available, there's hours upon hours of content for you to listen to.
All right, I think we need to move on because we've been kind of on this subject for about the last 15 minutes now.
Yeah.
We got a couple other things in order.
Are you feeling better now? Let this
Yes,
team off.
Yeah, you got that
I do
off your
I do feel better. Oh no, wait, one more thing. For example, Angelo. No, we were in discussion.
I'm not going to mention any names.
Trust me, these are some of the most fun and amazing conversations we have ever had on the show. Because it's just us being us, relaxed and actually having fun. Almost like you're sitting alongside us with the conversation. Yeah.
So the reaction from the Fortnite community is like, okay, every time we see a Cybertruck in the server, it's our mission to drop everything we're doing and send that player back to the lobby.
We also believe in keeping our patrons informed, so we post monthly recaps to let you know what you probably missed during last month's episode, and we're making sure that you're not missing anything important. Just recently, we opened a brand new Discord server where people can talk to each other and get all of the latest updates about our content or the Lanky Soldier channel. Find the link in the description to this episode or at our Patreon. No subscription needed.
You are as a
You
player.
have been measured. Yeah.
Yeah, you've been measured.
Because we're confident that you'll love the content we're creating, we're offering a free trial that you can use at any time. We believe we're making good content that will make you stay, and we would not be offering free trials if we didn't think so.
I've seen a lot of people like literally get excited, like, you know what? This looks very familiar, clearly ripped from somewhere, but damn it, that looks good.
So, if you want to support the show and get all of these amazing extras, head on over to patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. Your support means the world to us and helps us keep delivering the content that you enjoy. Thank you for being part of the Battlefield community, and thank you for being a part of our community, and we look forward to seeing you on our Patreon. Now, let's get back to the show.
Well, okay, we might as well go towards the leaks and gameplay stuff that we've seen. From what I've seen, the whole gameplay of Battlefield, this new Battlefield game, is clearly built on Battlefield 2042. Where if you want to know what I mean by that, go listen to our previous podcast episode about this. I literally talk about that. This game is clearly built on Battlefield 2042 foundation. But what I had a problem with, for example, Battlefield 2042, is, for example, the animations. Like it's very arcadey. I don't want to say cheap, but it felt cheap. Like the transitions between like shooting and running and all that kind of stuff felt really jarring. And when I watched this footage of this new game, you can tell it's a bit cleaned up. It's a bit like easier to like, you know, it's not gonna take you out. You're not even gonna notice that the transition happened from you running to shooting and just sprinting, right? It felt smoother, and I'm really glad. I'm glad that's like they cleaned that up. And again, this is placeholders. This is all alpha. Things will change. Things will hopefully improve, which is kind of the point. But so far, I like what they have right now in terms of like just basics, right? For example, I mean, shit. There's a scoreboard. There's a UI works as it's supposed to be. Like the base, they have the basics. For example,
Wait. We have a working scoreboard already.
I know, right? It's like
What is this?
we're already in such bad state than we ever were in Battlefield 42. Like, for example, so
I have a question.
Yeah, go on.
It's not announced yet, right? The game.
It's announced, but they don't have the official name, even though people are presuming it's gonna be just called Battlefield.
But there was no full reveal yet, right?
As in trailer, no.
Okay.
The only reveal they did was the video they showed, 5-minute video of developers and so on talking about the game, and they're showing like 10 seconds of gameplay footage of the new game.
Okay.
And this playtest is basically the second reveal, I guess. I don't know.
And it is scheduled for release this year.
So people say it's this year, but Andrew Wilson says that this. I think I said this 3 episodes ago. Andrew Wilson says they're aiming for 26 fiscal year, which is from now until April 6th. So that's the timeline. And then why I'm saying that the game is not coming out this year, because GTA 6 and other games, and I think this will be. And also, this is probably the most expensive Battlefield game they ever did, because 4 studios are working on this. Literally 4 studios.
They also get a single player, right?
Yes. So Motive is doing the single player, DICE is doing the multiplayer, Ripple Effect is doing some third mode, leaked Battle Royale, and Criterion is just helping them everywhere to make content for all the elements of the game. So they're just making content. So, where I was going with this? Oh, right. So when the game is coming out, the people say it's still scheduled for this year, but the way Andrew Wilson is talking, especially in the last earnings call, this is the first time he's very vague about the release date. He says, yeah, it's coming for fiscal 26, right? Which is until April 6 next year. And of course, people are like, oh yeah, it's going to come out this year. No, there's a big chance a very big chance that the game might come out next year, like March or April or February, whatever. Probably March. There's a big chance it might come out next March, this upcoming March, not this year, because he's very vague. Because in previous titles, like, you know, Battlefield 4, Hardline, 5, Battlefield 2042, he was always, like, the EA executives, they were always specific when it's coming out. Maybe not the date, you know, not to a day, but they were specific. Yeah, 2021 autumn, right? You know, holiday season, that kind of stuff. This is the first time they're not really talking about what's the timeline. They say this year, which is
I guess they are all waiting for Take-Two and Rockstar to announce
probably
the release date of GTA 5.
That too.
I mean, I think what I'm about to say is not a good comparison. But remember when Titanfall 2 got sandwiched between Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty?
Yeah. Don't remind me, yeah. Yeah, so...
I mean, GTA is a whole another thing. But
also Vincent Pella is basically one of the executives working on this game. And he probably learned his lesson with Titanfall 2. Because people say it was EA's decision to put Titanfall between Call of Duty and Battlefield 1. No, it was his decision.
It was his decision?
It was
Are you kidding me?
It was Respawn's decision. It wasn't EA. It was Respawn's decision.
I think they were a bit too cocky with that one, to be honest.
Don't get me wrong. They had a really good game at their hands.
Of course they had.
I understand why they were like thinking, but Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, Space Call of Duty is not doing really well. Battlefield 1 is a bit, you know, something else. We have a chance. I can see the reasoning behind it. I can see it. But of course, years later, in retrospective, like, it was not a good decision. So he probably learned that lesson. He probably did.
Yeah, Titanfall 2 has a special place in my heart.
Oh, did you hear? I know you haven't heard, but yesterday or 2 days ago.
I read it.
Oh, the Respawn game, unannounced Respawn game got cancelled, yeah.
I read it, and I am...
Yes, it was a first-person shooter, yeah.
Very sad. I mean...
I don't think it was Titanfall, though.
We hopped on Apex Legends, remember? When it came out?
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
But I so miss Titanfall 3. It's way overdue. It deserves to exist and be released.
Yeah, long overdue, I agree. But yeah, so when this new Battlefield is gonna come out, there's a big chance it's not coming out this year. The signs are there. I mean, sure, I could be wrong. Like, judging from this footage that we've seen so far of this playtest, I mean, the game is somewhat good state. You know, comparing Battlefield 2042 Alpha to this Alpha, night and day. So people have to compare, you know, oh yeah, when Battlefield 2042 was announced, there was hype and everything. Sure, until you play the game, until you play the alpha of Battlefield 2042 was absolute dog shit. This though, yes, the game I saw somewhere that the game was locked at 30 FPS. This alpha was locked at 30 FPS, same as Battlefield. But that's okay. That's alpha. I'm not gonna focus on that too much because it's alpha. But when it comes to just features, you know, and just everything, how the game looks and works, and like scoreboard, UI elements, shooting, movement, you know, just basic shit, right? 10 times better than Battlefield 2042 was back then. This is like a night and day difference. And apparently they've been like playtesting the game for a really long time too. So you can tell that this game has been cooking for a while. So that's good. I'm actually... And also because the Battlefield Labs exist in the first place, I know you were with me in the CTE conversations on Skype with the developers.
Oh, yes.
Rip
Skype.
My God. Rip Skype,
man,
though.
You know how long that is ago?
Oh,
it's like 2013, 2014 or something.
Yeah, 10 years ago, yeah.
Oh my God, no. It's 10.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
those were the days. I mean, I remember it. Battlefield Experience.
Yep.
And we had BFXP before CTE was announced.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, there there was an attempt to bridge the gap between developers and players, and then CTE came out, which helped tremendously.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
It was such a great achievement.
yeah, and because Battlefield Labs exists now, and the reason why I mentioned that, back in the day, developers at DICE LA were thinking, well, it would be really great to have CTE before the new game comes out, because we can gather all the data, all the feedback and everything to change the game before the game launches.
Yeah.
Never happened with Battlefield 1 or Battlefield 5. But it's happening with this new game. Sure, 10 years overdue, but it's happening. You know, I'm glad that we can play this game early. You know, people that got, chance to participate in the playtest and just give feedback, all that kind of stuff about this game. And them leaking all this footage to us, we can talk about this game. And so far, I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. So far, from what I've seen, well, there's one fear though. I mean, we can talk about the specifics of this playtest, but
I actually have a question for you.
Yeah, go on.
I mean, we both have the same opinion that this is a good move, Battlefield Labs. But do you think it will exist after launch? And if it exists after launch, what are they going to do with it?
They already said that the plan is to keep it after launch.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, because it's gonna be a live service game.
Yes.
You're gonna have to sell skins, and you're gonna have to make maps for free, guns for free, all that kind of stuff. Battle Royale is coming. Yeah, they'll keep it because it's just a perfect tool to generate that hype. Because look at CTE, right? Look at Battlefield 4 CTE, like from 10 years ago. I think Battlefield 4, well, one. EA exec, I can't remember who was it, Andrew Wilson maybe or someone, one of the executives, right? He said maybe 5 years ago, maybe like 3, 4, I don't remember when was it. And I think it was like in some article from somewhere. He said that he regrets that EA never capitalized more on Battlefield 4.
Mm-hmm.
Because you would think that, like, why you say that? Well, because CTE existed. And CTE basically was a live service component to Battlefield 4, so you can basically do the same thing with Battlefield Labs. If it's a perfect way to do live service for the game, produce content, generate hype, and just keep going until the game just can't produce anymore. You can't produce the content for the game anymore, and you can keep this game going. And I remember there were like talks up from the executives or leaks, I don't remember what was it, but basically EA executives or like the Byron Beatty, the lead developer for the Battlefield studios,
mm-hmm.
or someone. There's basically they want to build a platform for the future. So I think the reason why this game was going to be called Battlefield is because it's basically a reboot of the franchise. They want to build a platform that they can update and continue updating as the future goes. So, like for example, Ray, he talks about how the game should not be like coming out like a new game every 2-3 years. It should be like a platform that you can update all the time and introduce, different settings, like time, like you have World War II, then you have World War I, you have futuristic, all that kind of stuff, and it's like becomes a platform and people can play whatever they want, and maybe you can mix and match and so on. Basically like Call of Duty Modern Warfare want to do, like when Warzone came out, it kind of wanted to do that. But the lead developer that was working on Warzone left for EA to work on this game. So I have a feeling that's what they want to. That's the vision, to build a platform for the future, so they can continue updating the game for the future. And Battlefield Labs is perfect. It's for that. It's a perfect tool for that, to keep the game going as long as possible until they have the capacity to do that. I think it's perfect. Yeah, it's perfect for a live service game like Battlefield, I think. So I think that they're gonna keep Battlefield Labs as long as possible because it's a no-brainer. It's just free advertising. Like you said yourself, the reason why the playtest happening and NDA, like I said, they stopped these. From what I've seen, they stopped caring about leaks now. They like me and Ray predicted that the NDA is not gonna last more than the first playtest.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah. Listen, as soon as the playtest went live, leaks started to pop in the next second. Someone was streaming, someone was showing footage, everything. I'm not kidding. It was like the first minute.
Okay, listen. I have to mention something.
Yeah, go on.
You know, I've been out of the community for a long time now. And there's so much going through my mind. I know there's no structure to this podcast. We're just jumping around. And
Yeah,
so
we
on
are
and so
jumping around
forth.
now. Yeah, we had a plan, but you know what?
We talked about the platform, or rather, you mentioned the platform right now, which I think is also a great idea. But there's so much going through my mind. I'm thinking about the old days, you know, CTE, so on and so forth. I already wanted to switch topics 5 times, you know. Thing is, I am, guess, still very passionate about this franchise. I think it still has potential. Just because the previous game was bad, doesn't mean that it's dead or it can't go back to its roots. And I still can't find a thread to hang on to what I want to talk about, right? Because there's so much good stuff in the previous games. Doesn't matter if it's Battlefield 3, 4, Hardline, something like that. Each game had its uniqueness and good mechanics. If you take the good things from each game, I think you could make an insanely good game that the community deserves.
Funny you say that.
And one thing, because we talked about labs, and I asked, you know, what would be its purpose.
Yeah.
After launch, I remembered, and you remember too, how insanely awesome the community operations update was.
Oh
when it
my
went
god.
live.
Okay.
You remember that?
Okay,
I
listen.
just remembered it. I was there. I played on that map when it was literally just white.
Okay.
A blob.
All right.
No structure, nothing. The community, I mean, I can't describe it into words. It was such an awesome experience. It also gave you such a great insight on how video games are developed, how game design works, and how the developer progresses and approaches map design and how you balance it as well. There were so many changes to that map, and I'm glad I remember it. Well, I guess it was a stupid question to ask what they're going to use Battlefield Labs for. But this has so much potential.
Listen, I can't believe you said that. So, last episode, me and Ray were talking about, because we make this podcast, right? We already this is our first episode technically, right? For this new podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But I repost our old episodes. Sure, I re-edit them and all that kind of stuff. You know, I call it BattlefieldOne Archive. So I'm reposting our old episodes for people to listen. And it's so funny to me, as I already mentioned this last episode, that how history rhymes, right? It's like it doesn't repeat itself, it rhymes. Yeah. And as you said about the community map and everything, so I haven't posted that episode yet, but it's gonna be episode 7 of the old episode. And on that episode, I think it was 3 of us, I don't remember, 4 of us, we talked about the community map, right? Because that was the time when they updated like the visuals for the community map. It wasn't a white block anymore. It was like had some texture to it.
Yeah. I remember that.
And and it's so fun to hear the conversations how we were talking about level design and everything, because is the flag position is good here, all that kind of stuff and so on. And there was a thread I remember by Dice asking, we need a name for this map. Can you give us some ideas? And I remember Dark gave some. I was releasing the episode because I'm gonna release it soon. I'm releasing to the episode, and Dark was suggesting like Operation Shambhala or some shit or whatever. Yeah. Then someone came up with the idea Operation Outbreak, and people were like, it's fine, whatever. But which became the name for the map, for the community map.
Yeah.
There was someone wrote, fuck monkeys. So that was the name. But
the community is awesome.
Yeah. So just because we have Battlefield Labs now, right? The potential is there to listen, when the game comes out, who's saying they can't do this again? They can't make a new map involving the community. Why can't they make a community map for the new game? Of course they can. Of course they can, because it was so awesome. You know, community picked name, community picked layout, community picked, locations or whatever the case may be. Can be done. Why not? It just
also remember how they put. I mean, they were really transparent about it. And for you, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm misremembering. but I'm pretty sure they also showed heat maps of the map where
Yeah.
where the players are most traversing. You know,
Yeah.
a heat map. You know what
It's
I mean.
amazing. So also David Sillin's back at studio, and you said
Oh yes, I know. I know.
and you said like a couple of minutes ago, it's like, oh, there's no perfect Battlefield. I kind of want every best bits from each Battlefield game. That's what David Sirlin said, and I fully agree with all of you. To this day, you can find every episode of Battlefield 1 podcast, old one or new one, doesn't matter. I always said that I don't have a perfect Battlefield in my... Like, there's no perfect Battlefield. The perfect Battlefield game haven't came out yet.
No.
I thought Battlefield 2042 will be that. Sadly, it became became my least liked Battlefield game. It's up there with Hardline for me. It's up there with Hardline for me.
No.
I actually even think maybe...
Insert a swear word right now. I don't care. Edit something in something swearing or I don't know.
You can swear as long as it's not... It's long as, okay, you can say that. Don't worry.
Fuck you. Hardline was a really good game. Period.
See,
I'm always gonna like it.
See, I had Danny on the podcast.
It had very... I don't know how to speak English. It had very tight gunplay. The gunplay was so much fun.
I'll give you that. Yeah, it was fine. Regarding that, it was fine. I had Danny on the podcast, and he was defending Hardline. Fair.
I'm defending it too.
Yeah, that's
Danny's
fine.
a great guy. Hi, by the way.
This podcast exists for people to express their opinions. It's fine. I don't care. If you like it, you like it. That's fine. I'm not gonna judge you.
You're not allowed to have an opinion in 20.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, with Battlefield Labs, the future is bright. I really think it's really bright, and community map. They can do that. Why not? The potential is there. Use it.
No, I'm so glad I actually said yes to you joining the podcast because there's so much going through my mind right now and so many memories coming back. I like it a lot. And it makes me excited for the new game.
Yeah. And going back on the leaked footage and everything, I mean, sure, I can mention some stuff here and so on, but I'm just gonna say this. For example, the audio from the gameplay. Woo! Crispy. I like it. The audio they have so far in the alpha for this new Battlefield game, crispy and good. Yes, a lot of placeholders from Battlefield 3 and 4. They even have music from Battlefield 4, included there. They have it. I heard some Battlefield 4 music in there. And I heard voice lines from Battlefield 3 and 4 and so on. Anyway, it's a mismatch of everything from previous games. It's fine. I don't care. But the audio they have right now, really good. I don't know about... Okay, listen. Playing Call of Duty, I kind of became a bit more specific what I want from my video games. The audio, the aesthetics, the gunplay, all that kind of stuff. I became very specific what I want from my video games. I don't want the same thing in every video game. But for example, the footsteps and everything, I understand it's not really a big thing in Battlefield games. But so far, when it comes just to atmospheric feeling, it's an arcade game and everything, yes, I get that. But the audio is really good from the playtest. It's just oh wow, it just makes me feel something. They're gives me that Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4 feeling. It just gives me that good feeling that I haven't experienced for 10 years now, right?
I mean, remember when we were squadding up, 4-man squad, not Friday Night Battlefield, but when I think those were the BFXP days where we were just, hopping on and playing on the weekend. I really miss that. Those were great memories. But one thing, because you mentioned what you want from your games, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I think is important? And this probably sounds very random, but it's consistency.
Yeah, pretty much. If the experience is not consistent, it's gonna be a big problem. Which let's go back on Call of Duty Warzone, for example. Listen, I love me some Warzone. I love that game. But every year changing from to Modern Warfare 2, then Modern Warfare 3, and now Black Ops 6, and experience is fucking different every freaking year, and they have to fix it for 6+ months, and then we have somewhat decent game at the end of the year cycle, and then nope, new game, new foundation and everything. Pisses me off. So I understand there's rumors and leaks about happening that they'll try to separate the clients now because the Activision kind of realized that it's not a really profitable thing, so they kind of have to separate the clients. I don't know if that's true. Don't know what will happen, but I hope they will do that because it's just inconsistent. And yeah, from what I've seen from the playtest, I mean, granted, the players that got selected to play this are not the best. It's kind of hard to understand how the game is going to feel when good players will start playing the game. You know, they're going to find ways to, break the movement, movement gods, how the aiming works. Or, for example, in this playtest, there's suppression. From what I seen, from what I read, it does not affect your aim, but it does visually impair you a lot. And there's tools in the game, like a med pen, that reduces the suppression effect on you. How does it make you feel? Having suppression back.
I don't mind it as long as it's a visual thing. I mean, I haven't played in such a long time. I don't even remember when they removed it, if they even removed it. It's been a while, but I don't like it. I didn't like it in Battlefield 3 because it affected your aim. I can tell you
Yeah, I did not enjoy the Battlefield 3 one. It was really horrible. 4 was just a visual thing, no?
I don't remember. But what I want also back is 3D spotting. I haven't heard anyone say anything about it.
I think 3D spotting is in the play build, in the playtest. From what I've seen in the footage, I'm going through it now, I think there is. Also, the kill cam, from what I've seen, is... oh my god, my neighbor's dogs are barking in the background. Can you all shut the fuck up? Thank you. Oh my god, they're really loud. They're fighting. Oh my god.
Since when do your neighbors have dogs? I don't remember that when I was at your place.
Oh, my neighbors have dogs, yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, oof. You picked the wrong time to have a fight. Anyway.
Took the wrong hood.
Yeah, took the wrong hood. I'll bring up my cat. Oh, I can mention that. My cat and the dog met. We took our cat Oro outside.
Really?
Yeah, to meet the dog. So both of them were held. My dude.
And now
the
they're
dog.
homies, huh?
The dog got scared. The dog.
Oh my god.
Oro, who's just an innocent pussycat that is afraid of people. He was fine. He was fine. Grant, he grew up with dogs. My cat grew up with dogs. Sure. But it's just the dog got scared, which is funny. But yeah, suppression is in the game. It apparently is just visual thing, which I guess I'm okay with. What I'm now okay with, and this, for example, I've seen the playtest, is for example the tank gameplay. Granted, the tank gameplay I've seen from the player that was playing the tank and everything, dog shit. But
you mean the player?
The player.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen, my biggest so a couple of episodes ago, I think when that IGN article came out last year with Vincent Pella talking about the next game, he said that, hey, we're bringing 64 players back, and I want the game to have tight, well-designed play areas. The word tight concerned me back then. 6 months later, we see this playtest. The map itself, as I'm looking at the layout right now, is very tight. It's very tight. Very urban.
Let me get the image real quick.
Yeah.
So I haven't.
So it's very tight. From the gameplay footage, the map is very cluttered with shit. Like, I'm not talking just shit, but just it's just like, destroy tanks, rubble, something. You can tell that this is. Oh my god! Can you all stop barking? you can tell the map is very detailed and with, you know, stuff around. Like, clearly a next-gen Battlefield game. Clearly. Because this game is not coming out for all-gen consoles. Thank fuck. So they have a bit more memory, they have more...
Hey, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Especially because I heard that the next Call of Duty is still gonna support the old platforms.
This year...
This year?
Next Modern Warfare game apparently will not.
Okay. Wait, what's the next...
Apparently another apparently another Treyarch Black Ops bullshit.
Okay. Yeah. But this. Yeah. Okay.
Whatever. So I'm looking at this map. It's very tight, very urban, and all that stuff. Looks detailed and everything. Cool. As an infantry player, fantastic.
Yes. Agreed. I feel like you should have variety. One thing the older Battlefields did really well was also variety. You had open maps like Golmud Railway, for example, and what else comes to mind? Oh my god.
Yeah.
What else comes to mind?
I'm just gonna finish this before, and we can continue on this.
Yeah.
So the map is very tight. Perfect for infantry players. Looks visually good, but as a tank driver, I was because for anyone who doesn't know, I'm a tank main. I play tanks in Battlefield games, and I'm pretty good at them. Really good at the tanks. And I fully disagree with Battlefield 5 way of doing tanks. And there's a lot of players that are like, oh yeah, this is the best tank gameplay in the Battlefield series. I'm sorry, you're just garbage. I'm sorry. If you think Battlefield 5 gameplay was really good when it comes to tanks, I'm sorry, you're just like, no. It's kind of mean for me to tell you, you know, to our listeners, tell you that you're garbage. But every time I read those opinions, I'm just like, in what universe do you think Battlefield 5 gameplay was fantastic? It was a camp fest. Just tanks camping next to the supply drops. Not supply drops, and stations, whatever. Just camping and doing nothing useful for the game. They're just racking out kills, getting points, finishing on top of the scoreboard, achieved nothing. Nothing. Battlefield 5 gameplay is horrible. Especially all the mechanics that, like, for example, the disables, you can't repair, all that kind of stuff. It was not good. Battlefield community might say it's the best thing ever. I'm sorry, it's not. I will die on this hill. That being said, as I look at the gameplay of this playtest with the tank, I'm kind of getting the same feeling. I don't like it. And I saw stations, supply stations on the map for the tanks. So apparently, you do have limited ammo on a tank, which I do not like.
Me neither. It's not a good thing.
But apparently, you get unlimited when you attack an objective?
That doesn't make sense to me.
Doesn't make sense. So I think someone is screwed up here, or it's a really interesting new mechanic that is just kind of weird. If that's the case, I guess a compromise. But no. I think it just gets too complicated. It's a bit. I get the idea, but I don't think so. But so we have limited ammo. Vehicles feel a bit slow, and because the map is very urban, very cluttered with stuff, movement is already gonna be really difficult because you can't move away from danger fast enough. You can't maneuver, freely because the map is so tight. And so at that point, like, what's the point of tanks, right? Because yeah, the tanks survive a bit longer in the footage that we from the guy that leaked. Sure, because no one knows how to play the game. It's just simple as that. As soon as good players, engineers come in, 2 engineers will destroy that tank like it's nothing, And what's the point of the tanks then? If you can't maneuver, you can't do any damage. Are you just gonna be like basically a suicide tank, push an objective just to distract them a little bit until your friendlies will move on the objective and kill the infantry? Is that the plan? If so, do not include tanks at that point. And that's only tanks. I haven't seen the jets or helicopters because there was none on this map. But that makes me really worried. I'm looking at the layout of the map now. There's only 2 objectives that you can capture with a tank.
Yeah, but I think this is fine.
Maybe 3.
You can make it work. Teamwork makes the dream work in this case. looking at the map, yes, it's really tight, but look back at Battlefield 3, for example, Grand Bazaar. It was also a very tight map, and you had tanks on there.
Yeah,
and
but the way the map
it was still possible.
Yeah,
It
but the
was
way
still possible, and you couldn't capture all of the maps, all of the flags with.
but vehicles did not feel like crap. At least they were fast enough for you to run away from danger. If it did not have a disable mechanic. Okay, the only time
Fair point, yes.
I remember if in Battlefield 3, if you get disabled, it's because someone hit you in the back. That's the only
Yes.
time you got right. That's fine. That's fine. And I think, for example, Battlefield 4, I think is the best vehicle mechanics we ever had when it comes to tanks. Ground vehicles in Battlefield 4, 10 out of 10. It's perfect. It's simple enough, but it's advanced enough for you to be actually good with it, right? So like anyone can, play in a tank and just do well, but all the great players can do better because it's just like there's some sort of skill gap there, right? Easy to get into, hard to master, basically. Perfect. The Battlefield 4 was fantastic regarding that. Battlefield 5, different story, and I'm kind of worried that this might be the same thing. Right, this is only one map in the playtest that is designed like that. It's tight on purpose. It's designed to be urban chaos. That's the point. I want to see the other maps they have and see how the tank gameplay is gonna work there. But so far, I'm really worried how the tank gameplay is looking in this game so far, just because I'm getting the impression from this playtest. So I hope, whenever I get the chance to play this, Battlefield Labs, I hope that we can play other maps, and I want to really give them the feedback saying, listen, this is not good, this is not okay, this doesn't work, you have to remove it or change it. Because I don't want another Battlefield 5 situation where tanks are just absolutely useless. Also, I have no idea if the tanks in this game have the disable features like they had in Battlefield 5 or even Battlefield 2042. For example,
but do you know why people in Battlefield 5 were camping so much and not moving? It wasn't just because of the supply stations.
It's because
it was also because of the turret speed.
Turret speed? The tanks themselves were really slow unless you pick a specific one. And when you push an objective and someone throws a grenade at you and your turret is disabled, you can't do anything.
Yes.
You can't do anything. For example, I remember I made a video about Battlefield 2042 2 years ago, maybe, or a year ago, I don't remember. And I was talking about the tank gameplay because I was basically arguing to DICE developers, listen, this is garbage. You have to do this. A year later, they did what I said, funny enough. I'll take all the credit for that, by the way. I was the one that was pushing them to add APS system back into Battlefield 2042. We did not have APS. Like, really? Yeah, we did not have it. And I remember, like, I was invited to play the playtest for them for classes coming back. It's like 5 months before the classes came back to the game. So I was invited to play in the playtest. And the first thing I went on that build that they gave us, right, of the game, it was like a very early build of the classes build. The first thing I went is to the vehicle selection, see what if they change anything, and I see APS. I'm like, and I literally told them, my dudes, thank you, you did well, you did well. So you did well. So I saw some developers got happy that I noticed that there was APS. So that was not a thing. So all the changes they did in the Battlefield 42 game, I'm sorry, I'll take the credit for that because I actually was the only one that actually gave a shit, and I made a video about it and I sent to developers and they actually changed it. So I want to do the same thing for this game, hopefully.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, go on.
Is Commander coming back?
Yes, apparently. It's a simple AI commander, apparently.
Okay.
So, alright. There was a former developer, telling some stuff about the next game. I won't say leaking, maybe, I don't know, maybe discussing. I covered it a couple episodes ago. And he basically said that there was an idea to have a commander back, but not like a player-controlled commander. It's like a simple AI commander just telling you, oh, go capture this flag. Oh, do this. They need so on, right? It's a really basic thing. It's not like a ChatGPT type of thing. It's just simple AI telling, like, give you, like, random quests, basically, right?
Not a bad thing, but I really miss the Battlefield 4 Commander. It was like a mini game, you could also play it on your tablet and whatnot. But
It was ahead of its
at
time,
least
yeah.
in my opinion, I think it was a good tool for the team. With the spotting UAVs and even the cruise missile, you could make some really good impact. If you played it clever.
Yeah.
Also, mini-map spotting, stuff like that. It was a really, really good thing.
I don't know if you noticed, but the minimap is 3D.
I did read it, yes. I did not look for it.
When I saw that, like, that's interesting. 3D minimap. So the way for audio listeners, for you to, the best way for you to, like, what's the best way to describe this? Wait, let me open some gameplay footage if I can. Can't find any. I don't want to play it on the recording, which I already did. But basically, it's a minimap, right? Your typical square minimap that you have on the edge of your screen.
Yeah.
But you can tell what the buildings are and the elevation and all that kind of stuff. So you can tell how high the buildings are, or what elevation you are on, and so on. So
if the person is on top of the building or down below.
Yeah. It's a really interesting way. I can imagine it will be a bit confusing at first. So I remember back in BattlefieldOne Alpha, BattlefieldOne Alpha.
Mm-hmm.
When I played the Alpha, they had this 3D hit indicator for you. I don't know if you remember. They had a 3D indicator. So whenever you go hit, you get like a 3D notification in front of you, like a hint indicator from what direction it came from, right? So,
yes, I remember.
Yeah, so in Call of Duty, for example, or any Battlefield game, it was like, it's 2D, just like, it's up, down, whatever, right? It's like in a 2D format. But in Battlefield 1 Alpha, it was 3D, and it was like showing like exactly from what direction you got hit.
Mm-hmm.
In a sense, it was really helpful, but it was very confusing. That's why it's not in Battlefield 1 right now, because it was a bit too disorientating for a lot of people, which I get. I have a feeling it might happen with this minimap, maybe too, but it's less intrusive than a hit marker. Hit marker is intrusive because it's literally in front of your screen telling you where you got shot from. Well, the minimap is just always in the same spot, always in the same corner, and I guess that can be a bit easy to understand than a 3D hit marker, I would imagine. So, will they keep this? I don't know. But I want to play with it just to see how it feels. Because I like the idea. It's like it's more detailed and so on, but it's still a minimap, which I like. Apparently class-specific weapons are coming back. Damage numbers while shooting. You said you kind of wish there was no tactical sprint. So far in this build, there's no tactical sprint.
Good.
So far, there's no tactical sprint. It's simple sprinting. You either walk or sprinting. Which is, you know what? I'm okay with. Tactical sprinting is great, but as time went on, I kind of realized Battlefield 2042 is not a bad thing when it comes to tactical sprinting because it's unlimited, but it kind of became useless. It kind of became the default running and so on. I don't know. I'm indifferent. I'm indifferent.
You know what tactical sprinting for me is?
What's up?
One is I'm fast, and the other one is I'm fast as fuck, boy.
yeah. So I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent regarding that. How do you feel about support class being a medic, basically?
Sounds like Bad Company 2.
Because right now in the playtest, EA basically leaked it from their email. In the playtest, it's assault, engineer, support, and recon. And the medic basically became support. Support can give you ammo, can give you health, all that kind of stuff. Basically anything that is supporting the team.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine by me too. But I've seen some arguments saying that it's not fine because they say that kind of defeats it kind of makes the assault class different from everyone else. It makes that selfish class that doesn't have to interact with anyone else regarding that. Especially if there's supply stations too. Apparently supply stations give you ammo, health, and back, and so on. So if that's the case, you can just place a soul class and just do fine. You don't have to interact with other classes and teammates for, to make that class synergy, I remember Ray was talking about class synergy. He likes the idea that when you play in a squad, right, when you play with friends and everything, the joy of Battlefield was that, hey, the class composition, the squad composition, all that kind of stuff. Oh, you play support, I play medic, you play recon, and so on. And if you have a soul class that's basically running around, not interacting with other classes in the game, I kind of get the argument why it's not a good thing. I get it. Because engineer, support, and recon kind of need to work together, while a soul class is just basically doing its own thing and that doesn't give a shit. I kind of get the reasoning behind that. I don't know.
I mean, it's not a bad thing. You still need assault. I mean, yes, they're doing their own thing, but it's also the class who helps the other three with anti-armor,
Yeah. I haven't seen what kind of equipment the assault class have. Also, apparently squad perks are coming back, but it's kind of hard to tell. It's kind of hard to tell from the footage, because again, people playing leaking this shit is not specific type of players. But apparently, like, for example, there's like 4 levels in the game, and and everyone has individual perks, I guess. I don't know. So I guess it's squad perks. The better the squad plays, you get more perks. I guess that's how it worked in Battlefield 4. I think in Battlefield 4, remember, if you're if your whole squad dies, you lose the perks. That's how it was. Or you lose perk per perk. I don't remember how it was.
You mean squad wipes?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think you lost all the perks and you have to do them again. I think
so too.
Yeah.
At least in Battlefield 4.
So maybe it's the same system here. I'm okay with that.
It's not a bad thing. I mean, those perks, at least in Battlefield 4, you had them really quickly anyway.
Well, for example, I'm looking at the engineer right now, and 4 perks is basically anti-armor tree, dogpile, I guess is some sort of equipment, mark target, and last perk is thermite drone. So I'm guessing mark target is when you are level 3 in a squad. I guess you can, when you hit the tank or something with RPG, I'm guessing they're gonna get marked automatically. And then at the maximum squad perk will be like a thermite drone. So I guess it's a drone that you get and you can use it to, I don't know, termite people, termite tanks or whatever. So I guess it depends how powerful they are. I mean, I don't hate the idea because it does encourage people to play in a squad. Like, you actually, hey, you want these perks, you want these advantages, play good with a squad. I guess it does make sense. Encourages a bit of teamwork, so that's nice, I guess. Let's see, what else is there in the playlist that I learned? Oh yeah, flags have 3D markers. I see people don't like it. I see people don't like the 3D markers on the map, or not on the map, on the world for the flags. I don't mind it.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I really don't care. People say, "Oh, let me disable it." Sure, but why the hell you want to disable that? Like that's the thing with Battlefield community. For example, when this blog post came out, when they talk about the movement, right? Oh, we're gonna have sliding, we're gonna have diving, and all that kind of stuff, right? People say, "Oh, it's becoming Call of Duty. It's like Call of Duty. We want more." I'm not kidding. Wait, let me open that. Let me open that article. Oh, got deleted. Okay. But someone literally replied to that thread, said, "I wish the gameplay was a little slower and clunkier almost." Excuse me, what? Excuse me, good sir, what? What do you mean clunky and slow? Okay, slower, sure. But I've seen the gameplay. It doesn't look that fast. And what do you mean clunkier? Like, these people sometimes want to play a completely different game. And me and Ray always make fun of them because I just don't understand. Why are you playing an arcadey Battlefield type of game when you can play other games that offer you that specific experience? There's like the Squad, there's Hell Let Loose, other milsim type of games. Why do you try to shove this into a Battlefield game that is not supposed to be a milsim to begin with?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, why you? What do you mean? You want to make the like? This is the quote. Not even paraphrasing. I quote: "I wish the gameplay was little slower and clunkier." Almost.
Yeah, no,
this is from Reddit.
I don't listen to Reddit.
Reddit has some really interesting opinions about the game, and I like.
Yeah, I know that.
The sliding for me was a no-no. What do you mean, fam? What do you mean? As I'm going through this thread, yeah. Hey there, listener, me again. Sorry for interrupting you again. But if you're already this deep in this episode, I presume you enjoy our conversations. So why not check out our older episodes after you're done with this one?
Don't be a doobie.
Do a podcast of solid, right? We had some amazing conversations that are still relevant to this day, and we don't want you to miss them out. If you haven't already, go listen to our interview with big content creator you probably know, Westy for example, who was more than willing to have a conversation with us about Battlefield.
But then when you've got Angel screaming, "Angel does it again," and
that was something, right?
That was something. But you know what I mean? Like, the two didn't work. Like, you could have done specialists.
Or our recent interview with former DICE developer James Kono, who shared some amazing behind-the-scenes developer perspective on Battlefield franchise.
Listen to this podcast. It's awesome. I love Lanky. He's been a great resource to the Battlefield community for years now.
You're the only person that actually gave any compliment to me about anything regarding that. Long story short, we have some amazing episodes that are worth listening, and we're just happy that you're enjoying our discussions about Battlefield. And again, I want to thank you for listening, and please enjoy the rest of the discussion we're having right now.
I can feel you.
Okay, someone says, just hoping this feels like Battlefield 5 and not 2042. Okay, I agree with that. That's fine.
You know what I miss from Battlefield 5?
What's up?
Now that you mention it. Building, digging trenches. You know, what was it called?
Fortifications.
Yes, I miss fortifications.
Yeah, I've seen some people asking if they can bring fortifications back.
Like I said, bring all the good features from each Battlefield game, refine them, tweak them, but use them.
Yeah. We can talk for like 5-10 minutes, right? Just.
How long are we talking, anyways?
An hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, doesn't feel like that long.
Well, right. It feels like I still can record for another hour.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but that's fine. We'll see how it goes. It's just like you're just mostly covering just the basic stuff. That Dog Dogs are back.
That is nice. Yes.
Yeah, Dog Dogs are back. That's nice. Okay, so squad management. Like I said, the game right now in the playtest of this, game, so much better than Battlefield 2 ever was. Because they have the basics.
Listen before I forget it. There's one thing that I will mention right now.
What's up?
I know it won't come back. I miss it. I want it. There's nothing I can do about it. It's called Battlelog.
Yes.
I logged into Battlelog.
Yes.
I think 2 weeks ago. So much nostalgia. But there's nothing quite like it, and I still feel so sad they got rid of it.
Okay, so anyone listening right now and have no idea what Battlelog is, Battlelog was basically a website run by EA, and it's there to... It was basically Battlefield Facebook, basically. And
a huge stats page.
Huge stat page, forums, details and everything, challenges. That's how you launch the game, funny enough. Can you imagine, like, open your Google Chrome, you go to that Battlelog, right, Battlefield Facebook, and you just click, you look through the server list. Like, just that fact that you can browse the servers on Google Chrome and just click join server, and your game launches in the background.
Yeah. Quick, easy, simple.
People bitched about, like, I want to do it in the game. I don't have to run the game in the background. Like, oh, you want to launch the test range? That's fine. You can launch the test range and test the game before you launch into your server. It's fine. Battlelog was so ahead of its time.
Oh, no, oh my god, now that you mention it. Oh, I hope a developer is going to listen. Bring back the test range.
I think it's coming.
Please.
Please. Leaks saying that there was a test range somewhere. Hopefully that they do have a test range. But yeah, listen, okay. If Battlelog doesn't come in its original form, like, being on a browser.
I wonder why they got rid of it, to be honest.
I heard it was something security reasons. I heard it was
security reasons.
Some sort of security reason.
Yeah, okay.
I heard it was something to do with security. So maybe that's why, like, we can't really work on that because, like, exploits and everything towards our security. You know what? Fine, I get that. But can you transfer all those features that you had in Battlelog, the social aspect of Battlefield, and put it on the game? Port that shit into the game. So when I launch my game, listen, people will bitch. I don't care. If I can just, like, go through the forums, go through the servers, go through the channel, just basic stuff, right, that I did in Battlelog. If, I think Battlefield is best when Battlefield literally has that social aspect to it. That's what makes Battlefield really good, in my eyes. What makes it bad and more unique and different from Call of Duty is the social aspect of the whole franchise. If you have Battlelog in the game, that social aspect in the game, that's fine. Perfect. I don't need, like, I would not mind launching the game and just going through people's, opinions, forums, accounts, check stats, all that kind of stuff. Some sort of social page for everyone to come together and just talk or do whatever together in the game. Perfect.
Quick question.
What's up?
Do battle reports still exist in game? Can you look at your previous matches scoreboard and stuff like that?
I know that Battlelog still tracks your last matches.
Yeah, Battlelog does, but I mean in 2042 and stuff like that. Can you look at your previous game?
They probably removed the API access to it.
Okay.
Probably.
Because another thing that I found, I don't know, not good, but a cool thing, I guess, is that you could share your battle report to your feed and everyone could see it. If you had a really sick game, let's say you were an amazing tank driver and you did 105 and you carried the whole team and you shared your report, that gives you a little sense of pride and accomplishment.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, so yeah, I hope Battlelog.
To quote another meme, it's magic.
It's magic, yeah.
It's magic.
It's magic.
Magic of socializing.
Right, so what else I see? Let me go through the list quickly, just see. Yeah, right, so
we should rename the podcast to What's Not in the League You Should Add.
Yeah.
Because we've pretty much talked about things that we would like to see that are still absent.
Yeah. For example, medals are replacing ribbons. So Battlefield always been known for, like, its ribbon system. Now we have medals. I don't care, honestly. Okay. It's fine. I don't care. It's just whatever.
But didn't ribbons give you medals? Service star medals?
Oh yeah. You're right. It did. But now we have, like, some sort of, like, medals achievements, like, COD, which is, you know what? Fine. I don't care. Whatever. Same thing. Same principle.
Also, bring back, what was it? Colonel 100. Make it like Battlefield 3. Where you just need an excruciating amount of time to grind that shit. And when you open the scoreboard and you see a Colonel 100, he has a shit bucket. Battlefield Friends exists for a reason, right?
I have an interesting question for you.
Yes.
Do you think this game should have prestige?
No.
Hardline had it.
Yes, but I'm not a fan of prestige mechanics.
Okay.
Just make your base level up to 100 where you have all your unlocks. And then make, let's say, another 100 levels that take a long time, like Battlefield 3.
I'm thinking.
It was service stars, right? I'm not sure.
You know what? I'm okay with anything, as long as there's customization. I personally, like, you know how when you check your level in all the Battlefield game, you can see what level they are, and they have like a specific logo, whatever the case may be, right?
Yes, yes.
Can I customize that logo? You know, if I achieved a specific level, let me change the logo.
Do you remember custom emblems?
Oh my god.
You remember custom emblems?
Okay,
Not
wait.
just-
Okay,
not-
wait.
Not just custom. What came first? That
Okay.
they showed. No, shut up. What came? I don't remember. Anyways, you need to correct me on that. What
I know what
came
you're talking-
first? Shut up. That they showed your custom profile picture from Origin in game,
That was Battlefield 1, yeah.
or the custom emblems.
Custom emblems.
Which
Custom emblems came from Battlefield 4.
oh
And,
boy,
and
you've seen some. You have seen some.
Oh,
stuff.
I've seen some shit.
Oh, we have seen some stuff.
And then you have Origin avatars that you had in Battlefield 1. That they had to
yes,
remove.
yes. Oh, I mean, I abused that too. I had some. You probably have footage of me having a very, what do you call it? I don't know. Let's just say funny pictures.
I was adding memes to my avatars all the time, and when you, like, I had, for example, I think I had this. I still have it somewhere saved. There was a picture of my face smiling, and the text in that picture said, "I capture your flag like I capture your girlfriend by flanking you."
Oh my
and
god!
when you finish top of the scoreboard and the whole server can see your avatar and me saying that, good times, good times.
Yeah.
It's just
there's so many memories.
it's just
man,
like
so
just
many memories.
that's what I love, just the banter, the banter. But then people start being douchebags about it, start posting porn and all that kind of stuff, like, which is like,
Oh yeah, that happened too.
Yeah.
Not just
yeah. People start become racist, all that kind of stuff, especially these days. Like, it's just, that's why, like, it ruined it. They had to remove it. So I thank you, people, for ruining a good feature. Morons.
Yeah.
Morons. You ruined a good feature just because you decide to be racist and sexist. Fuck you. Anyway, fuck those people. Right, so just to end up, let's see. Oh yeah, the factions. I just want to mention a quick mention on the factions. So right now, it's NATO versus some sort of third imaginary military.
Let's just say Russia.
Yeah, Russia 2.0. It's like apparently it's supposed to be.
Hey, I didn't know. Okay, I don't think
it's supposed to be private military or some sort of, like.
Do you want ad revenue or you don't want ad revenue?
It's what do you have in mind?
I guess you can cut it out if you want. I don't care. But I just say Russia, right?
Yeah, you can say Russia.
No, I wanted to say that I didn't know that the Ukraine war escalated, that NATO is in it now.
No, so the factions in this are basically NATO, some paramilitary, private something, and apparently.
Oh, hey, it's Wagner Group. Ooh.
Yeah, that's what basically people are referencing is Wagner.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's what people are referencing.
Interesting.
And you know what? I have a feeling that factions will change. And I think I think you know what? I personally want them to go with fictional factions, just because you have more creativity with that. You don't have to be, oh, it's NATO, so that has to be this, and so, because you know how people are. So if as soon as you have a realistic faction on your, in the game, people have expectations. What kind of like, oh, this has to be this way and so on, and you can't have this equipment, all that kind of stuff. In like right now in the game, each side has a tank, and one of them is an Abrams. The other side has a Leopard, which is a German tank. So what? America versus USA, So you see the
United States of America.
So and the way the politics are these days, right? There's, you know what? They would do the funniest thing ever if they could just like put, America versus EU, just for shits and giggles, right? For shits and giggles, let's put NATO versus America. Let's go. Let's go.
I mean, it's a fictional game.
It's a live servers game. Add more factions. Let's go. Actually, yeah. Exactly. What's stopping you from adding more factions? More cosmetics to sell. But Yeah, I hope they're gonna go with fictional factions just because I want them to be.
Actually, you want to hear another opinion of mine? It's
Yeah, what's
something
up?
I had in mind earlier, where I had, I still have a lot of thoughts, and we still can't find one thing to stick to and have structure in this podcast. But anyways, if anyone made it this far, hello. I wouldn't mind having a premium back.
Nah.
Not to have. I mean, look at Fortnite. You have a Fortnite subscription, right? Where you get monthly currency.
I do pay for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, you're going with that direction. Yeah, okay.
Exactly. Make premium. Give the person some currency. Give the battle. I don't know what's in the Fortnite subscription anymore, but something like that. I wouldn't mind
you get the
having
battle
that back.
pass. You get a monthly skin. You get currency. Oh, sorry. You get all the battle passes they have. Correction. You don't get one. You get all of them.
Excuse me, my lungs are messed up right
That's
now.
fine. You get all the battle passes. You get a skin. You get currency. You get them sweet V-Bucks. And you get some other perks. I don't remember what. But for $10, well, for me it's £10, UK rubles. And yeah, UK rubles. And I pay for it because it's a good deal. I play for it on a regular basis. And I think it's a good deal for me. And me and my girlfriend have it. And it's perfect. Because it makes sense for us.
Bring something like that. It's not a bad thing.
You know what?
Other people would probably say.
Now you mention it, they probably will, because again, it's a live service game, and because it's gonna be a skin economy.
Do you know the meme? It's free real estate.
Yeah, yeah.
Just say it's free revenue.
Yeah, literally free revenue. Because for Call of Duty has Black Cell, for example.
Yeah, but that shit's too expensive.
Way too expensive. Way fucking overpriced. But you can have that, I guess, and people will pay for it. Someone will pay for it.
No.
I don't want it. Don't get me wrong. I don't want it. But
listen, there's one thing I don't like, and that's excessive monetization.
Yeah, Call of Duty is really
If
horrible.
I pay $20 for one skin, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it how it is.
Me and Ray still go for the same idea that, hey, we kind of want cheaper cosmetics, but we want like customize our soldier individually. Like actually, let me buy a helmet, let me buy a gloves.
Oh my god! You know what's another thing that just came back into my mind?
What's up?
Battlefield Hardline Criminal Activity Workbench, where you customize your weapon and the skin. You remember that?
Yeah, I barely remember. I remember something. Yeah.
That was the shit. Do something like that. And then make the patterns, skins, and whatever else.
Oh, I remember. It was somewhat inspired. Medal of Honor Warfighter inspired. I remember that.
Really?
Yeah, I remember now. I remember I was praising them for that.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, I haven't played Medal of Honor Warfighter, but I think that was a good feature.
Oh, Medal of Honor Warfighter back in the day, it was revolutionary customization. It was yeah, back in the day it was revolutionary. Just like
but just make it cheaper.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just.
No, I don't want to rant about it.
About what?
I don't want to rant about it.
Well,
I mean, back in the days, there were no microtransactions. Now we have microtransactions.
about
It was unavoidable, mobile gaming revolutionized that shit, Yada, yada, yada. But I still think that if you pay $10-20 for a skin, it's too much.
Yeah.
I don't know how they calculate it in the back.
Oh, there's laws of psychological and mathematics and everything. You have no idea, fam. You have no idea.
I feel like this probably sounds stupid. I don't care. Microtransactions should be small treats.
Yeah. So
like a gummy bear or something like that.
Yeah.
And not a whole fucking burger that I buy.
Yeah.
Just give me pieces to enjoy that I will. I mean, that's also a psychological thing, I guess, because if it's cheaper, you will buy more.
Yeah, I would.
I think in the end, the revenue would be about the same, if not more. Because if I see, this shit costs $5, yeah, I give you $5. If this costs $20, I'll probably say no, fuck you.
Yeah, and then some new skins come out and everything. You're gonna regret your purchase and so on. It's like it just doesn't leave a good taste in your mouth in the long term. If you like,
I'm going to make an example now. I've recently bought what's it called? Immortals Phoenix Rising from Ubisoft.
Yeah.
One of their single player games. Their way to make money. They have cosmetics for the single player as well.
Yeah.
Call me stupid. I bought credits for 10 euros to get a set.
Okay, I'm not gonna judge you for that.
Yeah, but then I noticed I need another 10 bucks for the weapons.
Oh.
Now I have weirdly looking weapons on a celestial body armor. And I regret that purchase now.
Yeah. I'm sorry. That happened.
If you already asked 10 euros, give me the fucking weapons as well.
Yeah.
Give me the whole set for 10 bucks. Because if I get everything, I would have thought about getting another set, to be honest, because they have a few good sets.
Yeah.
Good looking sets, and yeah.
Oh, I see Ray. Okay, as I'm gonna end the podcast soon, because we've been talking for a while. I just opened my LGG, my Patreon notes, right, to record with Ray later.
Yeah.
I see Ray is busy there. He's adding notes as we speak.
What is he adding?
Oh, okay. He's adding notes about the Battlefield Labs footage.
Okay. Yeah, maybe you have more structure in there because I don't have structure.
You know what? No. You know what? Let's.
I mean, I guess if we conclude sometimes.
Yeah, let's do a conclusion now.
Freely speaking, your mind is important. You know, there are many things that someone wants and wishes for. You know, I mean, like I said, we all want. I mean, if you're a veteran and you really cared about the franchise, in the end, you just want to see it come back to its former glory and thrive again.
Yeah. So just on conclusion, just because there's no point talking about, specific details, whatever, because those things will change and everything. But going on the conclusion, I personally happy with everything I've seen so far from the playtest. I like how the game looks. I think I like how the game feels so far, just judging from the footage. Loads of question marks about the about the map design and the vehicles. That's my biggest concern. But everything else, audio is fantastic so far. I like how how the characters look and feel and everything. I like the gameplay loop. Feels like a good Battlefield game. So much and also the way the alpha is right now, the basics, right? Squad management, UI elements, like the simple stuff like that. It's there, and it's 60 Hz servers and everything. Good. We're off to a good start. And will the game is gonna come out this year? I have a strong suspicion it will be for next year. I don't think it's coming out this year. Surprise me, of course, but I don't think it's coming out this year. I just don't think so. And even though the alpha is somewhat good stage, but doesn't mean we can't make it better. Oops, sorry, hit my mic. So I'm happy with everything I've seen so far. There's a lot of question marks, of course. There's a load of things I can talk about for hours and hours and hours, and this podcast is gonna be a 4-hour podcast. Sure. Actually, if they're gonna remove the NDAs thing for the next playtest, if we actually gonna play it, and we can talk about it, I can see us actually talking for 3-4 hours. I can see.
You know what we should do after this podcast?
What?
Play a round or two of 2042.
I need to make food.
No, you play one round.
Round. I'm literally pushing my dude here. After I'm done, sure. Before I record with Ray, because I have to record with Ray in 4 hours, 3 hours.
Fine, okay.
But anyway, what's your so far conclusion to all of this you've seen from the leaks?
I'm cautiously optimistic.
That's probably the best way to describe it.
Also, I am a casual pleb now. I know that I won't play as much as I used to. But I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah. So the conclusion is we are cautiously optimistic. We like what we see. We like so far all the stuff that is there. Sure, question marks there for obvious reasons. Listen, I don't think the game is going to be perfect under no circumstances. But aesthetic is there, gameplay is there, everything looks going to the right direction, and because this is Battlefield Labs, all the feedback they're gonna gather, they can change it and improve it. That's the idea. And maybe in the future, we're gonna have our own another community map project in the future. Oh, imagine they do that before the game releases. Listen, they like announce the release date, and it's like, okay, boys and girls, we have 6 months until the game releases. Let's make a map on top of that, the community map project for the release.
Imagine all the content we are going to make.
That would be the dream. That would be the dream.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's our conclusion about that. So far, we like it, and I hope you enjoy our conversations. And as I end the podcast, like I said, patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. We have some amazing episodes there. 40+ episodes of us, just exclusive episodes, just talking about Battlefield, Call of Duty, all that kind of stuff. And like I said, I'm going to be recording with Ray in 3 hours. So if you're listening to this on Patreon right now, yeah, you're going to get this instantly. But if you're listening to this on Spotify and everywhere else, you can already subscribe to Patreon. And you can listen to that episode where me and Ray, maybe even, I don't know if you're going to be around for that, if you're not going to be sleeping.
When?
In 4 hours.
I'll be up.
Okay.
I can be up if you want to.
Okay.
Also, don't forget, I should be there. The microphone story is a very interesting
thing. Well, I will tell that story to Ray one way or another.
Yeah.
I'll tell that story. If you're around, you can join us for the Patreon episode. So if you're listening to this on Spotify and everywhere else, you can already listen to that episode on Patreon. It's already up. You can listen. So yeah, subscribe to Patreon, support us, and like I said, well.
I'm just going to interrupt you. It's
fine.
rude. I don't care.
It's fine.
I still can't believe CTE is over 10 years ago.
It's been a while, yeah. Makes you feel old, right?
1 foot in the grave, friend. 1 foot in the grave.
1 foot in the grave, boy. But yeah, thank you guys for everything. Like I said, Patreon's there to help us, and the reason we record this and everything is because we need to lock in. We need to lock the fuck in. It's that time of the year. There's a reason why we're the best Battlefield podcast everywhere right now. And the only one that is actually decent and good. So, yeah. So thank you guys for listening. Subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. Check out, support us, help us out. Share this episode with everyone else. Be involved, follow our socials, all that kind of stuff. So, thank you guys so much. And you want a closing sentence, Andre?
Memes are dreams.
Fair enough. Thank you guys for everything. We'll see you in the next one.